Hello everybody, and we are finally at the best time of rugby, the best time of the year for rugby. Christmas derby season. Always the best time. You go up against your neighbours, you get to beat them up. It's always really, really fun. So yeah, this is round 8 of the URC. Let's go. So, where are we starting? Well, we're starting with the oldest rugby club rivalry in history to kick us off. It's already starting off strong as we head to Scotstoun for Glasgow versus Edinburgh. The 1872 Cup first round leg. Glasgow had won it for the first time in a few years last year. Can they win it again, or can Edinburgh upset them yet again? Well, I won't predict about the whole thing yet, obviously, because they've got the second game at Murrayfield next week. But this first game kicks off tomorrow at Scotstoun, where usually Glasgow win the Scotstoun leg. Then, if Edinburgh win the whole cup, it's because they win at Murrayfield by more. And then they win on points difference. Is usually how this works out. Apart from last year, Glasgow won both legs, which we don't talk about. But yeah, as much as it pains me to say it, and as much as I very rarely go against an Edinburgh win, I think Glasgow's going to win this game. At Scotstoun, you've seen the two teams full of Scotland internationals, big places for the Six Nations up for grab now in a lot of these derbies. It's got an exciting 9-6 written all over it, as I saw online written by someone. But no, Glasgow to win that one. Next up, another huge encounter as we go to the Kingspan as Ulster host Connacht. Yeah, this could be another very good game. Not only is it another Irish derby, it's 7th against 8th, so this is huge for top 8 and playoffs and Champions Cup. This is a huge game for that. Now obviously Connacht have had a poor couple of weeks in Europe. They lost both their games by shifting a lot of points to both Saracens and Bordeaux. Now yes, in the Saracens game they scored 30 odd themselves, but they conceded 50 odd. So yeah. Ulster did have a few bad run of games, losing 3 in a row, which is slightly unheard of. They lost to Edinburgh, Glasgow and Bath, but they did manage to pick up a win against Racing at the weekend in Europe at the Kingspan. I'm going to side with Ulster, although I think it will be incredibly tight, as most of these derbies will be. As we head across to Saturday the 23rd, we go to Parma as Zebra host Benetton. The Italian derby is always a good one. Zebra have looked more impressive, of previous years. You can just sit here and go, yeah, this would be an easy win for Benetton. But Zebra have actually looked good after not winning a single game in any competition in over 18 months. They've won 2, drawn 1 in the last 6 weeks. So Zebra are looking good, or better. But Benetton have also looked mighty impressive. They've won from 2 in Europe. Obviously losing to Ospreys, I think it was. So yeah, I'm gonna have to go with I can't say that. I'm gonna have to go with Benetton. I think it will be a tight game though, a good game. Speaking of good games, this one could be a corker. We go to the DHL Stadium as the Stormers host the Bulls. Oh, what a game this will be. Europe, both teams are doing alright in Europe, I'm pretty sure. Stormers, they beat the champions, they beat La Rochelle last week. The Bulls, what did the Bulls do in Europe? I know they beat Saracens in the first week, but I just can't off the top of my head remember what they did last week. Give me a second. I should have done my week. Yes, that's right. I remember now. They lost by a point to Lyon. A last minute Lyon try, I think it was. So Bulls have been soaring in Europe. So they've both been doing good in Europe. The league, two completely different stories. The Bulls have looked solid. They're sitting in third in the table at the minute. Stormers are all the way down in 10th. So for the finalists of the last 2 years, they're not sitting very good at the minute, are they? But again, it is a derby, hard to predict. It's on Stormers' turf. But based off evidence, I'm gonna have to side with the Bulls, I think, here. Yeah, gonna have to side with the Bulls there. Anyway, we move on to the 26th, so Boxing Day derbies now. As we go to the Cardiff Arms, as Cardiff host Dragons. Cardiff versus Newport, two very close cities, I'm pretty sure, both in the south of Wales. Yeah, again, another cracking derby. This one usually is. All the Welsh teams have struggled quite a bit in the league, but Dragons, one win this season in URC. I think they won one in Europe, but one win in the URC. Cardiff haven't been too bad on Welsh standards, on their own standards the last few years. Let me see, get their win rate up. I don't think they've done. They're sitting in 12th, so still not amazing. But yeah, Cardiff are. Oh, they've only actually won 2, drawn 1. I thought they'd won more. That's what I'm saying. The Welsh teams haven't done well at all. But Dragons have won 1 game. Cardiff have only won 2, drawn 1. So yeah. With this game being in Cardiff, I'm gonna have to side with them, but it will be tight. As then we go to the north of Wales, or yeah, I think it's northish, Llanelli, as we go to the Park of Scarlets, as Scarlets host the Ospreys. Again, neither of these teams doing that hot in the league. The Scarlets with 2 wins, the Ospreys with 3 out of the first 7, so not amazing. Scarlets have also struggled in Europe, lost their first 2 games. Ospreys, I believe, won their first 2 games. So, yeah, Ospreys on better form. You're going to have to side with them, aren't you? Yeah, Scarlets haven't looked good at all this season. Ospreys have been okay. Next up, always one of the go-to fixtures on this table. Munster at home to Leinster. We've already had the reverse of this fixture. At the Aviva, Leinster just squeezed out Munster. Now it's at Thomond Park. This is going to be an absolute corker. Leinster in first, Munster in fourth. I mean, flip a coin to predict this one, to be brutally honest with you. Both of these teams have, yeah. Munster's European campaign, though, recent form, hasn't been hot. It really hasn't. I know they lost to Exeter last week. Slipped a solid lead to Exeter. And then the week before, I'm pretty sure they lost again, did they not? Can't find the fixture now, can't find the score. Munster. Oh yeah, no, they drew to Bayonne, that's right, yeah. So it's Munster really not been good. 2 games that they should have won from either their position in that game, like the Exeter game where they were sitting but 10 points clear with about 15 minutes to go. You should be able to go on and win that. And then drawing to Bayonne, who, to be fair, did also run Glasgow close in their other game. But still, not that great from Munster. You've got to side with Leinster, don't you? Also, you've got the whole thing of RG Simon moving. I know there might be a bit of grudge in that. Apparently, it's not. It's more because his wife's got a job that she didn't want to leave, which is fully understandable. Rugby's more than the club. You forget that sometimes, but most of these players have families and stuff, so it's not just about their decision to move club. They've also got other factors. So, if that is the reason, which I've heard, not 100% sure, completely understandable why he moved. Now, I'm not a Munster or Leinster fan, so I don't know, but if someone moved from Edinburgh to Glasgow for those reasons, I wouldn't have a problem with it. Don't talk to me about Ali Price, because still I don't understand that. And then the last game on the agenda, which is not taking place this week, is taking place on the 6th of January for some reason. That's the Sharks versus the Lions. Yeah, Sharks still not doing great. 15th in the table. 1-1, lost one in Europe in the last couple of games. Lions looking okay, 9th in the table. Won the first 2 games in Europe. You're going to have to side with the Lions there, aren't you? You know, just, I don't know what's going on with the Sharks, but they're just not firing for some reason. A lot of people thought once they got their internationals back, they'd be fine. They've had their internationals back for a month or so and still not really fired much. You know, they won a... They beat Zebra or Dragons or something like that in South Africa. And then beat another smaller team in Europe, I'm pretty sure, in South Africa again. I know they lost to the Cheetahs last week, but in the first round, let's see, yeah, they smashed Pau. So for the Sharks, 2 wins this season isn't that great, is it? But you know, it is in a few weeks, maybe they can do something. But anyway, that's us. Bit of a longer video because it is the better season. It is the better time of the year. The Christmas derbies, they're always really good. I cannot wait. The review will be out probably the 27th. Yeah, just due to the fact I'm not going to wait for the 6th. I'll review that one probably at the back of around then. I think there's a break in the URC that week if I'm remembering right, so may even do a separate review on that game. We'll have to wait and see. But anyway, yeah. Thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed, make sure to subscribe, like, all that good stuff. Yeah, and I think this might be one of the last things you see from me before Christmas, so hope you have a good time. Yeah. Thank you for watching, and I shall see you later.